Hi, everyone. My name is Lisa Paz, and I'm the Senior Director of Engagement and Advocacy for AISES. This video is to provide you with some travel tips, especially if you're on your way to the AISES National Conference. We hope to give you some insight into traveling, especially if you are traveling for the first time and a little nervous. This may not cover all situations, but should cover common travel situations. Let's start with booking a flight. Make sure that the name you enter matches the ID you will be using for your travel, so that your ticket and your ID match. Also, double check that you're booking for the correct dates and times. Changing your flight may result in additional fees, so make sure you're booking the flight that you want. Now, we know some people will be traveling by car. If you are, please make sure that you are following all local laws and policies. And please do not drive while distracted. We know it can be tempting, but please drive safely. Keep in mind that once you get to your destination, especially if it's a hotel, you may have to pay for parking, and some hotels charge quite a bit, so don't forget to budget for that. Okay, back to those who are flying for a few minutes. Let's talk about checking in for your flight. In many cases, you can and will want to check in about 24 hours ahead of your flight. Remember this for your flight home, too. This tells the airlines that you do still plan on being on the flight, so hopefully you don't get bumped. After checking in online, you can opt to print your boarding pass or have it available on your phone. You can also get it printed when you get to the airport. You can choose whichever option you are most comfortable with. Once at the airport, you may also need to check baggage. So go to your airline check-in area for that, and keep in mind that there may be a baggage fee, depending on your airline. Fees usually start at about $25 per bag and can go up from there. Also, do not forget your ID. You will not be allowed to fly without your ID. Okay, now that you're checked in at the airport, you will need to go through security. Make sure that you get to the airport in plenty of time. Security lines can get long and be time-consuming. Also, read all of the signs in your area. Each airport seems to do things differently, so you want to be prepared when it's your turn. For example, some places make you take out any electronics bigger than a cell phone and put it in a separate bin, but some places don't. So just be ready. Another thing to be ready to take out and put in a separate bin could be large jewelry. I know I always bring mine to conference and have gotten stuck in security for it. And also Sequoia medallions. Security may ask to look in your bag, so be ready for that, or just take them out of your bag ahead of time and place them in a bin. Another thing I know many of people of color have experienced when going through security is having their hair trigger a search. Personally, I keep mine down until I'm through security, so it is less likely to trip a sensor for being too thick. So just be prepared that they may want to give your head, shoulders, or back a pat. Okay, now it's time to head over to the hotel and get checked in. You will want to plan this before you land. At least think about your options and expect it to take a bit of time to get from the airport to your hotel. You will have lots of options for local travel. You can use an app like Lyft or Uber, which are easy to use but can be expensive. You do have to download an app and set up a profile and payment before you can request a ride. Taxis are probably available quickly, but again, can be expensive. Some hotels offer free shuttle rides to the hotel, and most likely you will have had to make a reservation with them before landing. This is why you should plan ahead. You can also research the local public transportation options available. Most cities have really helpful websites that will allow you to plan your trip and give you all of the information that you will need to know ahead of time. This will probably be the most inexpensive option, but may be complicated and take some extra time. If you can travel with others, almost all of these ways will be less expensive because you can split the cost. So check in with others on their travel plans. Once you get to the hotel, you will need to check into your room. One major thing to be aware of is that even if your room is being paid for by someone else, the hotel will need to have a card on file for incidentals or damage. Be careful in what type of card you give them, because they usually pre-authorize your card for your full stay, which can be up to $50 a night. They will release the hold from your account once you've checked out, but it could take several days for the money to go back to your account. This is especially important if you are using a debit card. You could be out of a couple $100 for several days, so just be aware of that. You will also have to show an ID when you check in. If you end up sharing a room with someone else, make sure that both of your names are on the room, so that if one of you loses a key, you can get a new one without waiting for the other person. You will just need to show your ID to get a new key. If you're not able to check into your room right away, the hotel can hold your luggage for you. Just ask. Then you can leave the hotel without dragging around your luggage. The same thing can happen if you have to check out before you're ready to leave town. And when it is time to check out, make sure to check out on time so you don't get any additional charges. Well, at the conference, the dress is usually professional, business, or traditional. I am excited to see all of those ribbon skirts and shirts. You will want to make sure to wear comfortable shoes. You will probably be walking a lot. Also, keep in mind that especially in convention centers, it can get pretty cold, so layer up and bring a light jacket or sweater with you. If you need examples of what professional or business dress means, please feel free to check out our Pinterest page. You can find us at AISES_HQ. One more thing to mention that some of you may be dealing with for the first time is per diem. Per diem is the money that you get from your organization for travel expenses. So this could be things like food, baggage fees, or housekeeping fees. Housekeeping fees are usually around $1 to $2 per person in the room per night. So please keep that in mind. Keep your itemized receipts for anything that you spend your per diem on in case your organization wants them. Okay, I think that's all of the travel tips we have for now. Travel safely. And if you want tips on attending our national conference, we have a video for that as well. Thank you and see you soon.